Do you desire getting any one or more of these for yourself? If you've answered yes, then it's past time to do something about what you really desire and want to get out of your life. I have to tell you the truth. A big part of the problem was I always thought that if I waited long enough, things would change. Things had to get better. I tried positive thinking, and that never worked for me. I tried all the things I'd read about in the Law of Attraction book, The Secret. But the only secret I learned was that none of their secrets worked for me. I guess God or the powers that be, whoever they are, finally took pity on me. They showed me what I had been doing wrong that had sabotaged everything I had ever wanted in my life. The last day, when my 30 days was up, something weird happened. Nothing could have prepared me for this. What I found out was the right thing to do to change my life. Then the weirdest thing happened to me. I went to a sandwich truck near my house and bought my favorite sandwich and walked to the park. I sat on a bench and started to eat my sandwich. Ordinarily, if I was eating my favorite sandwich, it felt good, but not that day. As a big bite of my sandwich stuck in my mouth, I felt a huge wave of self-pity come over me. I thought, my wife is going to divorce me. She'll marry a better guy with a better job, and my kids are going to call him Dad instead of me. I accepted my fate. I was a loser, and nothing could save me. I finally gave up. Suddenly, big tears started rolling down my cheeks. Crying is a small word for what I was feeling. My body was seething with pain and grief of what I had lost. My shoulders shook with my sobs. Then I felt a hand touch my shoulder and jerked my head up. I saw an old man in his upper 60s. The funny thing was he was dressed like a celebrity. He had an expensive sports coat and designer jeans. I noticed the sparkle of a shiny new gold Rolex on his wrist. Then he asked me a question, and I'll never forget his words. Is it money, health, or love? I said, I'm sorry, what did you say? He asked again. You're crying. Is it because of lack of money, lost your love, or poor health? What is your reason for being so sad? Shamed by his question, I put my head down. Then in a sad tone of voice, I said, it's because I'm going to lose my wife. She's the love of my life. I'm going to lose my 2 kids because of no money. My wife left me and is going to divorce me if I don't find a better job and a new place for us to live. Then he said, 30 years ago, I was in the same position as you are right now. I was sitting on this very bench, crying. I was planning to figure out a way to kill myself. You know, it's funny. I was eating the same sandwich from good old Papa Jacob's food truck when a stranger came and put their hand on my shoulder, and my life has never been the same. I looked at the old man and started to pay closer attention to what he was saying. He said to me, I'm going to give you the letter that only the richest people know about. Rich people pass this letter on to their blood heirs so they can live in the ultimate comfort and luxury. The letter contains the Tao about how to create wealth, celebrity status, and prosperity. The letter contains the exact secret which the ultra-rich, celebrities, and sports all-stars keep away from the average man or woman. Then I said, what is a Tao? He explained. A Tao refers to the harmony with the natural order of the universe outside and the universe inside. Tao means the way or the path. He said, the letter was given to me by a lady when I was sitting exactly where you are 30 years ago, at the same park bench where I was at the lowest point of my life. The letter changed everything for me, and my life was never the same again. Now I think it's the right time for me to pass the letter to someone who needs it more than I do. He handed me the letter, and as I took it, he said, I assure you that if you do exactly what the letter tells you to do, you will get your family back. You will create all the wealth you need to live in a home your wife and family will love. Then he turned and got into his black Mercedes and drove away. I never saw him again. This whole time felt really weird to me. It was like God or the powers that be had given me the key to the gates of a dream life far beyond my wildest hopes. I was holding the letter that held the key to a life of wealth, gratitude, and love. I was holding the incredible power in my hands that was the Tao of rich. After my heart stopped pounding so hard, I took a deep breath, fresh air filling in my lungs, a flash of excitement spiraling upwards through my body as I carefully read the letter. I tucked the letter in my pocket and stuffed my uneaten sandwich in the bag. I got up and ran back to the apartment. I was so excited and uplifted after reading the letter, I couldn't wait to get started. I did exactly what the instructions in the letter told me to do. I'll give you a sneak peek into what it said. The letter talked about the supernatural and mystical connection between the heart and the mind, and how the heart and the mind communicate with each other and the world around you. The letter said a baby's heart is developed inside its mother's belly even before the mind. That is why the heart is more powerful than the mind to determine if a person becomes rich or not. That the heart enters into a mystical state to pull whatever a person wants towards them. Think of it like pulling metal filings with a magnet. You use the mind as a tool to put your heart in this pulling state. For example, your heartbeat on the monitor goes from this chaotic state. When you get into this state of pulling, you can literally pull things towards you. The heart has a powerful electrical field. This can be seen on a heart rate measuring monitor where you can actually see this state of pulling. I read how the instructions in the letter are used to decode the dialogue between the heart and the mind. I know it sounds like a science fiction movie scene. I was extremely skeptical, but today was day 30 and I had nothing to lose. So I gave it a try. At first it felt a bit weird, but suddenly everything that was bothering me felt a whole lot different. It was like a huge weight had lifted off my shoulders. I don't know how I just knew this, but I felt confident I was going to get my wife and precious kids back. Anyways, I followed the instructions the letter said to do 3 times a day. It was a Monday, the 30th of the month, and I was back at work making cold calls. I had a target to sell 30 copies of an online sales product every month, and I was way behind on my quota. I knew I was in danger of getting fired or at least reprimanded by the boss if I didn't sell 30 copies before the end of today. All I can say is what happened next is really bizarre. I remembered the instructions in the letter. On my next call, right after I finished my sales spiel, the guy on the phone says, "Okay, I want to buy 32 copies, one for every member of my team." That meant I would sell enough in one call to cover my entire quota for a month. I was so stunned I couldn't say a word for 10 seconds. Then the guy on the phone said, "Are you there?" I said, "Oh yes, I'm sorry, I'll be happy to help you with this order." I processed his order. I had made 32 sales at $250 commission for $8,000. My boss and coworkers were blown away. They didn't know about the letter as I had never told anyone about it. I was the guy at the office. Even my boss acted nice to me for a change, only because he didn't want to lose his best-selling cold caller. I saw a new respect in my coworkers' eyes when they would talk to me. I felt like a winner. That night, I drove to my father-in-law's house and told my wife the good news. She burst into tears and told me how proud of me she was. A short while later, after I got my family back, my wife and I were able to buy a new house with a big backyard for the kids and a pool. In time, I kept doing what the letter told me to do, and I earned enough money to buy my wife and myself the luxury cars we had always wanted. 1 year later, I quit working as a cold caller. I started my own telemarketing company, selling software to small businesses. What happened to me made me feel that miracles can happen and that strangers do care. So I give to charity because I'm so grateful for the stranger who helped me change my life for the better. Nothing could have prepared me for how good my life is now. Today, I want to give back to the world, and that includes more prosperity for you. I took the instructions in the letter and combined it with today's scientific discoveries in sound healing and sound engineering with added yogic sounds and ancient chants to put together what I call the Tao of Rich, the letter's way to wealth, love, and prosperity. The Tao of Rich reveals the secrets the rich don't want you to know. I'm giving you the keys to a better life. Once you have your hands on the mystic secrets inside the letter, you can pull more wealth, love, health, and prosperity in your life. The Tao of Rich program uses the mystic principles of the heart and mind and the techniques of pulling from the letter. I combined these unique principles with sound healing and yogic sounds and ancient chants to create the super mystical state of heart-guided audio. To get ready, all you need to do is think about anything you want to do or have. Then simply listen to the Tao of Rich guided audio for 9 minutes, and you'll be placed in a state of pulling and receiving new abundance almost instantaneously. As you relax and listen, I'll guide you to remove any negative forces and instill positive forces deep within the depths of your heart. It's like a magical rope that appears, which is attached to the goal you want in your mind and literally pulls it with the speed of a bullet train. You can use the Tao of Rich to pull anything to you. The Tao of Rich is not just to pull money. You can use it to lose weight and have the money to buy and wear sexy clothes. You can use it to get a luxury car. You can use it to find a loving partner. You can use it to gain excellent health too. The Tao of Rich works to pull anything you want towards you. To make sure you were successful, I wrote a companion guide called The Tao of Rich Explained. This guide explains how the Tao of Rich works to ensure your success. Have you ever seen celebrities and sports all-stars that seem to have everything a person would want? Money, fame, fortune, their name on everybody's lips? And then you hear they go to jail for a drunken driving charge or get caught having a steamy affair and get divorced and lose the love of their life? Or they squander their money in bad investments with unscrupulous people and end up losing all their money? It seems like some celebrities and sports